A very good morning to one and all. Today I am Sachdeva from RS Public Senior Secondary School, and today I would like to discuss with you so many things that generally a student encounters in his life. So first of all, I would like to tell you what are the basic problems that we generally encounter. All of us know that whenever we want to study, then the most important thing is diversion. Means whenever we pick up the book, we are sometimes not able to learn what are we intended to do. So the question arises that why is it so? The basic reason for this that Acharya told us was inner talk. Inner talk is the basic reason that you are not able to understand what you are studying. So basically what happens that for example you have done one work and then you go to the another and then you start it up. What will happen is that the thoughts of the previous work will continue to interrupt you in that work also, and that's the basic thing. That is what is called as inner talk. So that inner talk is not going to enable you to focus upon that work that you're going to do. So for example, if I watched the movie or played and then I started to study, in that case the thoughts of the previous activity will start to interrupt me even when we are studying. So that is the basic thing which generally a student feels or encounters when he tries to study. Another important thing is that even if we start to study, then sometimes we find that we are not able to remember the things. And basically it is because of the fact that we are not rethinking the things. Right? For example, you watched a movie and obviously you will think over it again and over, and you would be able to keep it in mind throughout your life generally. But if you talk about studies, none of us ever rethinks about what we study in a day. And that is the biggest problem that we generally face, because as a result of that we're not able to retain most of the things. Like for example, if I studied Pythagoras theorem and I won't rethink over it, then I won't be able to retain it in my mind. So that is also another problem that we generally face, and Acharya told us how to face it. And he also told us that if you do the visualization of any kind of thing, like for example you have studied something and then you visualize it thereafter, you would be able to retain it for a longer time. And that is what we generally want. Not only this, but the most important thing is that if our brain is not programmed to do something, then we won't be able to do the same. There is a certain center in the brain called hippocampus, which is responsible for the programming, or you can say whatever we do, everything is controlled by that portion. So for example, if you are doing something, then it's hippocampus which will control whether you have to retain that thing or not. And Acharya told us that there is one way in which we can reprogram the hippocampus to learn and retain the things. So for this, an effective method is brain diary, as you told us. In brain diary, what you have to take is just take a few rough papers, staple them up and prepare something in which you can write out whatever you did throughout the day. And if you do this activity over and over again, after 3 days, 4 days, after 1 week, you would be able to retain it, because the hippocampus will be programmed thereafter that you have to keep those things in your mind. So that's the basic thing that generally we can do, and I think whatever Acharya has told us today would definitely prove to be useful to us and will enable us to put in more efforts in our studies and concentrate more. So that's what I think and what I believe.